Good. Well, welcome everybody to our 2020 RIA Kick on Demand presentation. Kevin McHale here, Director of Sales for Run Specialty, ASICS North America, joined by Ryan Hall, Chase Fleming, and Bob Fay. We're excited to take you through some exciting updates in a somewhat of a unique presentation format. So just to go over some objectives for today's presentation. First and foremost, want to kick things off. Ryan and I, as well as Chase, will be taking you through just a past, present, future state of the union as far as ASICS is concerned. We'll spend about 30 minutes there, touching on key stories, sales trends, and what have you. From there, I mentioned the presentation would be somewhat unique. We're going to try something new today. Initially, the thought was we could embark on an SS21 Q1 sell-in strategy as part of our Kick on Demand time slot. Given that our SS21 deadline has passed, we kind of pivoted and decided to focus our efforts more on just kind of a general pre-line effort wherein we hope to get real-time feedback through a cool little polling app that Bob will introduce you to a little later on. Really, the goal there is consistent with everything we've committed to as we've relaunched our brand over the last 12 to 15 months, which is a commitment to listening, learning, and soliciting feedback from you, our key constituency. So at the conclusion of today's presentation, would very much love if you guys could submit your feedback as to how you thought it went from an efficacy perspective, and whether or not you feel like it's a workable formula moving forward. We certainly think that it is. Jumping into the brand update, we wanted to start by taking you through, like I said, just kind of a past, present, future perspective by first looking at top line shippables trend from the last 10 months. You may be asking, why did you choose the last 10 months? And that's a great question. The reason we chose to start looking at things starting in September 2019 is because we really feel like that's when our brand relaunch at Run Specialty happened in earnest. We essentially flipped over 50% of our Legends product on 10/1 with the GT 2008, as well as the Nimbus 22, and we launched a new exciting product at that time as well in the Glide Ride. Obviously, looking at this graphic as a whole, I think the one thing we're really proud of internally is in 7 of the last 10 months, we've been able to make up a lot of ground and post some pretty healthy growth numbers. Obviously, this period of time overall has not come without challenges, but before getting into those specific challenges, was just kind of hoping to walk everybody through some product and story specific items from this stretch of time. So as I mentioned, September, October, an exciting time internally where we launched 3 exciting new products. Obviously, from a shippables perspective, that really had an effect of perhaps artificially inflating our September shippables number. But even as we progressed through the remainder of Q4, we were able to comp what were launch periods from the prior year. So October, November, we comped the GT 2007 launch. And as we approached the end of the year, we were able to secure overall Q4 growth of plus 23%, which had us riding into 2020 with a bunch of wind behind our sails. The dip you see there in January is tough to look at on paper, obviously, but we know the reason behind this. In January 2020, we actually launched Nimbus 21. So again, up against a pretty sizable comp in that regard. Still, even though we lost the volume that you typically get from launch slash intro orders, if we peek under the hood in January, one of the positive indicators that can be found is our at-once sales were plus 38% for the month. So again, even though our shippables were lagging behind for obvious reasons, we were still very much excited and felt as though we were very much poised for growth heading into the meat of Q1. Moving into February, got some exciting help from a really strong new intro, Nimbus Lite. I think year to date, Nimbus Lite has fetched us about $1 million of revenue, which is really great for a first year product. And as the retail, quote unquote, retail lights come back on, we're seeing an uptick even 4 months removed from its initial launch. Doing really well on market currently. February also brought about a rec summit that we held in Atlanta in conjunction with the US Olympic trials. It was also kind of the coming out party for the Meta Racer, which was debuted for the first time in front of consumers at the Olympic trials. And we really felt like the Olympic fever was really starting to build and heat up. March was a really big month for the brand. For those of you that know, and for those that don't, for that matter, we are the title sponsors of the LA Marathon, not just the marathon, but the full suite of events. And our first turn at the LA Marathon race day sponsorship was this year in 2020. Our cross-functional partners in sports marketing and marketing put together an awesome plan to really activate around the energy of the city, while also putting forth the most positive, strongest expressions of our brand in front of obviously 100% relevant consumers. The event was an unmitigated success. We feel really good about things and super excited as that partnership continues to evolve over the next few years. At the same time, we were also readying ourselves for two additional product launches: Nova Blast, which has taken the market by storm since its inception at the beginning of the month, as well as Cumulus 22, which obviously was a huge opportunity for us to carve out a stronger degree of representation within the go-to neutral category. So you see the 20% gain there. Obviously, that was short-lived for reasons that are well known to all on this call. We'll get into those in a minute, but wanted to make some additional call-outs down at the bottom of the page. Just 2020 specific notes, in that we're currently about minus 13% year over year. That number actually comes a little bit back toward par as we include apparel and accessories into the mix. As I mentioned, at-once footwear sales have been a huge positive indicator for us, even throughout these challenging times. Year to date, we're plus 36%, indicating, of course, that not only are there headwinds at the retail level, and therefore we're seeing a lot of product chasing. But I think in and of itself, as a growth brand, we acknowledge we're very cognizant of the fact that as we do scale up our efforts within the channel, that rightfully there will be some degree of chasing on a weekly basis. Finally, just a split of the data there. Legends products. This is intuitive given the high representation within our line, but Legends products are trending just ahead of our overall net footwear shipment trend at minus 12.2% year to date. This is just a simple graphic showing you shape of share. I think an important call out. This is from June and July. So June and then the first couple days of July. Important call out here is the current share within our line that Gel Cumulus 22 is representing. 14% being just on par with GT 2000 at the current during the current period. Sorry, during June and July, is extraordinary and something that we think is going to be a huge asset for not just you, but for us as well within that category for the remainder of the year. So that's been exciting to see. Obviously, Kayano is a little bit inflated there, given that it's in its launch period currently. But by all reports, Kayano 27 is doing really, really well in its first few weeks on market. We'd be remiss if we didn't address those two valleys you see there in April and May. And obviously, you guys are no stranger to the adversity that COVID-19 presented to your business. You might also be wondering why there's a picture of a milkshake on the screen. It's likely an interesting juxtaposition for you. But there is a purpose for it. This is actually my favorite analogy currently, which is, during the months of April and May, not just on our end, but we know on your end too, it's sometimes felt as if we were trying to drink a deliciously thick milkshake through a really thin, tiny straw. What do I mean by that? Well, I think when the COVID-19 shutdowns occurred, we all went into survival. We all went into survival mode, and kudos to our retail partners on the call for making quick pivots to do anything to maintain those connections to your consumers, even given the various store closures across the country. Everything from curbside pickups, virtual fittings, local delivery, e-commerce pivots to platforms like Fitted, operating on reduced staff/hours, pivoting races and training groups to virtual settings. It's not lost on us how hard you all worked, to make sure that you were keeping that revenue stream as whole as possible. And while we were all hustling and grinding, I know we didn't get back to par, or perhaps you did, and if so, even more kudos. But just wanted to say that we're collectively extremely proud of our retail partners for demonstrating such a high degree of business savvy, for demonstrating hustle, and for just being leaders within your local communities. It's very, very inspiring. And to bring things back to the analogy, we know as those first few sips during April and May might have been really tough, but that milkshake gets easier and easier to drink as we go along. And hopefully as we get back to the top line overview, hopefully those trends that we see in June continue on into the back half of the year because of the hard work that we put in April and May. As you guys are pivoting, we also made some pivots of our own. And I'll just touch really quickly on just the package of support we put together in response to the COVID-19 shutdowns, which included things like invoice extensions, essentially as needed, sales holds, and open order management to make sure that nothing was coming in that you didn't want to come in during those crazy times. Strict adherence to UMAP policy, which is something we're very proud about, and something that we pledge to remain committed to from this point forward. We know that anytime a unilateral decision is made against a UMAP policy that reduces prices well before plan is essentially an automatic devaluation of cost of inventory in your back rooms, and it's something that we are vehemently opposed to. Additionally, we opened up dropship on B2B, and this is a pretty great slide of data here. We essentially went from 0 B2B dropship orders in 2019 to about $500,000 of business in 2020. So these are obviously hard orders for you to service. These are difficult orders for our distribution teams to service, but absolutely worth it in that it kept the faucet running during a difficult time, so to speak. I've got some pretty lazy images of some key Q1 and Q2 products down at the bottom of the page. Just wanted to underscore the fact that we remain committed to our launch calendar and our flow of product, despite the business challenges from mid-March through present day. Obviously Nimbus Lite mentioned, we're very happy with where it's trending. Certainly wasn't easy to launch a shoe and then have to essentially be in a position where we're potentially look at relaunching it even now 4 months afterwards. Same goes with Nova Blast and Cumulus. What Chase Fleming has been able to do is secure some budget for aggressive seeding. Hopefully everyone on the call was cognizant of those offers. If not, please do reach out. We still feel like it's important to get these shoes on foot as much as possible, as it really is the best way to kind of tell the brand comeback story. But by getting this great product on foot. Finally, just to kind of combine some product and marketing pivots into one. So on the bottom left of the screen is the Cherry Blossom version of the DS Trainer. This is a shoe that we planned on launching in conjunction with our sponsorship of the Cherry Blossom 10-mile run in April. Obviously, with the cancellation of that race, we pivoted to more of a digital marketing strategy to help sell-through of this product. And I don't know if Annie Lutz is on the call. If you are, kudos to you and the PRR team, Annie, for selling through. I think it was something like 90% of the units in the first week on hand. So pretty good stuff there. Obviously, with present day of business, want to address some risks, and these likely do not come as much of a surprise to you right now, but we are indeed experiencing some pretty serious, not just supply chain issues, but perhaps some inventory pressures as well. We are not. I want to clarify. We are not zeroed out. We are still servicing the industry, but we have seen lag times in as far as ordering to ultimate delivery, lag times of up to 7 to 10 business days. Things are improving by the minute. I assure you of that, and you have our word that even though there's not a whole lot of clarity to share at the moment, you have our word that as we do get more and more information as to warehouse and inbound shipment flow, that we will keep you up to speed. We operate on a policy of full transparency and communication, and that will not change moving forward. Want to throw things over to Ryan to talk through just kind of some areas of excitement from this point through the end of 2020.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. I'm a little bit thrown off right now. I keep thinking about that milkshake right now and how it's lunchtime, and I know Kyle's already made a comment about being hungry, so forget about your lazy slides. You already hit one out of the park. But all right, yeah, to kind of speak about some opportunities that we currently have. One thing that we really want to help bring to market is to continually innovate our legends, but also not rely on those. So we have some run specialty specific stories that are going to launch soon, and one that's already launched. So coming up in the next 2 weeks, we have Meta Racer. That shoe debuted on a couple of our athletes' feet down in Atlanta at the Olympic trials. So I believe that'll be launching in the next couple of weeks. Currently out is with some color updates is the Nimbus Lite. So that's gotten off to a great start. To piggyback off that success, you're going to see the Kayano Lite, which will come out in the next 90 days. And then Kayano 27 and Cumulus 22. And then very shortly, you'll have on the bottom left, you'll have a run specialty specific GT 2008. One of the things that's really important to Kevin, myself, Chase, and Bob, along with the rest of ASICS, is really trying to protect our distribution. I know in the past you'd be able to find a lot of our product in markets and stores that we typically wouldn't want your high-end performance product to show up at. One thing that we're doing is continually to keep a lot of these products out of certain stores, such as a Shoe Carnival or some of your more down market accounts. For shoes such as the Kayano, which will show up at Dick's Sporting Goods, what we've done for the Run Specialty channel is actually give lead times. So all Legends products will receive a lead time for Run Specialty of at least 30 days before it's the broader market channel. In addition to that, you'll also get exclusive colors such as what we do to GT2000. Kind of moving over to what we also Kevin mentioned with regards to UMAP. He mentioned that as soon as the price drops, we understand that's a devaluation of your inventory in your back room. So what we've done with the GT2000, we've held MAP on that shoe for its entire life cycle. So by the time the GT2009 hits your back room, that'll be the first price drop on GT2008. As we look forward to move into the Nimbus 22, you'll have a price drop to $119 on 11/1 before it goes down to $99.95 on 11/24. We dropped price on this a little bit early to allow for some holiday promotions that you guys might want to run in your stores. And the Nimbus 23 actually comes out on 12/1, which will probably hit your doors a little bit before that. So we feel like we've done a good job of protecting the Legends and also helping keep the long-term sustainability of those shoes going within your stores. So if we can protect the distribution and the pricing on those, I think that'll put everybody in a really solid spot to be not only profitable, but also help customer protection and keep acquiring new customers and keeping the old ones. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Rye.
I'm gonna go get a milkshake. Catch you guys.
Yeah, well deserved. So to kind of close the loop and move into the future part of the brand update, wanted to give line of sight. I mentioned SS21. So Q1, January through March, just recently closed. I think the deadline was 2 or 3 weeks ago. You know, the sell-in period, as you all are very well aware, was less than linear this time around, given that it was essentially 100% virtual. We embraced the platform. We embraced the new mode by which to present the new products and stories for the season, and happy to report that on a year-over-year basis, futures versus futures, our results came in plus 41.2%. It's actually a typo down at the bottom. Ignore that. It is 41.2% as opposed to 46%. Again, this is footwear only. Distribution-wise, very pleased that 75% of our account base did submit orders. So, you know, a little bit lower than what we're accustomed to. But you know, definitely, you know, at the outset of SS21 sell-in, I think if you could have told me that 75% of accounts would respond in order and be amenable to the new approach, I would have taken that every day of the week. So our work is not done here. Our February and March deadlines are still open. We do plan on going back and analyzing orders as needed. I also want to let everyone know, if you have not seen the line and you're willing to do so, please do touch base with your local sales rep and schedule a viewing as soon as possible. Like I said, we can still get some orders on the books, which I believe will be important as we head into the new year. You know, as inventory will still be you know, somewhat on a what we call cook to book situation. Not, you know, still some replenishment inventory commitments, but definitely going to be playing things a little closer to the vest than we usually have. Additionally, we will be posting a recording link to our brand page on the RIA website, to the Kick On Demand website. You can expect that to be posted by end of week. The last call out as far as future bookings are concerned, just wanted to give line of sight into our top 10 over on the right side of the page. Those models do represent about 85% of our total demand, which, as we think about, really focusing and really focusing the lines and directing our accounts to invest their dollars in the stories that matter, we're really pleased to see that degree of representation up toward the top. Then this is just a good comparison of what I showed you earlier. Shape of share as far as future season is concerned. See a little more representation from kind of those younger, faster energy stories. Cumulus representing less of the overall pie, that it's in end of life mode at once February and March rolls around next year. But still a really nice clean look at bookings overall, and something we'll be interested to see kind of how this shape of share evolves over the next 6 to 9 months. So that's all Ryan and I have got. We are going to stay on. Please feel free to ask as many questions as possible throughout the conversation using the chat function on the side. It's a ask us anything type format, and looking forward to the rest of the presentation, in addition to hearing what your guys' thoughts are at the conclusion. I'll pass things over to Chase. Give me 1 second here.
Great. Thanks,
Feel
Kevin.
free to throw in some applause too. I think there's an applause level, and if Chase goes, you can feel free to boo him if you want. I think there's that virtual app as well. But
I'll take it all, good or bad criticism.
Have some fun with it.
Awesome. Thanks, Kev. Thanks, Ryan. Before we jump into product, wanted to go through a high-level marketing update overview for 2021. If you've sat through a Spring 21 sell-in with us, you'll notice these will be familiar slides, but these are certainly the important updates on the marketing side of things as we look to 2021 and beyond. So I think everyone on this call has been in the industry long enough to understand ASICS founding philosophy, the brand history. Founded in 1949 in war-torn Japan, Onitsuka-san, pictured here, wanted to unite the youth of Japan through sport. And that founding philosophy from 71 years ago, a sound mind and a sound body, we feel is just as important and relevant today as it was then. So, it speaks to who we are as a brand, and it exemplifies the need to be healthy physically, but as well mentally. And with that, very excited to share that beginning in 2021, Sound Mind, Sound Body will be our official brand platform. So believe it or not, it's been 10 years since ASICS has utilized Sound Mind, Sound Body as the external facing platform. Most recently, it was I Move Me on the performance run side. We've used various catchphrases for different categories of business. And some of the loudest feedback we heard during rec summits, during market travel from our tech rep force, is that ASICS has a genuine opportunity to use Sound Mind, Sound Body in an authentic way. So very excited from a marketing perspective to be able to utilize the Sound Mind, Sound Body messaging, not only in the POP and logos that we provide, but as we tell our athletes stories leading into the Olympics. So this will be a global platform. So not only in North America, giving us one unified front for the world. Navigating COVID-19. So Kevin touched on it briefly, but I just wanted to reiterate, some of the pivots that we've made, certainly shifting to digital marketing efforts for those accounts that have that foundation are able to do so. Coming out of COVID-19, we know that shopping behaviors from consumers are going to continue to evolve. We know that we need to continue to provide the tools and resources needed for you to lead that change. So whether that's the value propositions like virtual fittings, races, curbside pickup, whatever the new normal, so to speak, looks like going forward, just know that we are looking to adapt as well to get ahead of things for our retail partners. Sustainability has been a big topic for ASICS recently and will continue to be so going forward. Those of you that brought in Nimbus Light know the storytelling there with the recycled materials. Bob will speak to the update here in a bit, but from a marketing perspective, we will be introducing the sunflower logo icon you see here on the right will be the sustainability icon going forward. This won't just be a marketing campaign though, of course. This will be a brand platform that we will build around this message going forward and that will be relevant for many years to come. So spring footwear, spring 21, 95% of the performance footwear is using recycled materials. We look for that number to increase, not only the number of SKUs, but also the percentage of recycled materials per SKU. 65% of the apparel globally will use recycled materials with an aim of 100% by 2025. What's that going to look like as it comes to life? So these are just rough examples of what we could expect on our D2C channels. I show you this because we want to reinforce that we're going to be very vocal about this as a brand. And then the goal is to take these assets, curate and distill them down for our key retail partners, such as yourselves. So we will certainly be speaking to it. From a physical standpoint, the boxes, top right, if you haven't noticed, beginning I mentioned Nimbus Light, but we did experiment with the recycled shoebox with that shoe. Very happy to say that going forward, actually beginning this month, all footwear across all categories in ASICS globally will be utilizing the recycled shoebox. So by early 21, we will have worked through the existing box inventory, and we'll look to tell that unified messaging. Other physical examples, so as we look at in-store POP, we definitely want to make sure we're practicing what we preach, so to speak. We don't want to just send the same mass-produced cardboard cutout that, as we all know, may end up in the trash anyways. And we want to make sure that in-store signage that we're sending is not only tasteful, but also if it's surrounding a sustainable product, we want to make sure that the POP itself is made of sustainable materials to help with that storytelling. Also, Kevin mentioned the great gift with purchase we did with Potomac River with the cherry blossom shoe. So a lot of fun things we can do leveraging and leaning on that sustainability storytelling, including fun ideas like including seed tree planting kits in our shoes, again exemplifying those sustainability aspects of the shoe. That's all I have from the marketing side of things. Definitely want to leave plenty of time for Bob to speak through product, especially as we go through the poll function of his presentation. So again, as Kevin mentioned, please feel free to utilize the chat function if anyone has any questions as we go. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Chase. Hey, Bob, as you get situated, again, just wanted to let everybody on the call know that this is indeed the active part of the presentation. We do want you to be prepared to give real-time feedback for each slide that Bob puts up on the screen. He'll have more instructions on how exactly to do just that.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Chase, and Ryan as well. So our goal, I think, since all of us have been together at ASICS has been to have continual dialogue with what we call our rec partners, run specialty partners, and to really figure out how to be best partners with the channel, as Kevin and Chase and Ryan talked about. Part of that continual dialogue has been product feedback, and we've truly felt like on the merchandising side of things, with the cadence of pre-lines through the product development phases, we've made pretty great strides over the past 18 to 24 months. And a lot of that is starting to pay dividends in the marketplace, as Kevin talked about. So understanding it's a chaotic time in everyone's business. Want to first of all thank you guys and show appreciation for being here. It's really important to us to continue this dialogue however we can and continue to make sure our product's evolving in the right direction to get you guys what you need for ASICS to be a growth brand and a benefit to your business. So as these guys alluded to, this is going to be a pretty interactive portion. So what I'm going to ask everyone on the call to do is to go to, whether it's on your computer or on your phone, this does work well mobily, to go to pollev.com/Robert Fay, my name, 751. And what that's going to do is essentially prompt you to join a live polling pool. It'll ask you if you want to enter your name. You can certainly skip that portion. Happy for anonymous feedback from the group. My big ask is for you guys to be as candid as possible through this process. We aren't going to see our product improve to where it needs to be if we don't hear the good, the bad, and the ugly. Certainly, if you guys wouldn't mind keeping it PG-13, we do want to share kind of word bubble quotes to our global partners on this front. So we don't want any really, really aggressive feedback, but as long as you phrase it eloquently, this is certainly the time to beat things up if you see a miss or kind of prop things up as you go along. So hopefully...
there is an expel function on web. We don't want to have to use it.
Exactly. Thanks for reminding me, Kevin. So hopefully as I kind of put that in there, my other ask is no screenshots. These are pretty early second samples of product. So just want to make sure as we go through, this does say pretty internal, and we appreciate your discretion on that front. So leading off, you'll see in your PollEV function, this question will pop up. And so my ask is to just kind of prime things. We're going to ask a few questions to get the group involved. So if you don't mind chiming in with what's the first thing that comes to mind when someone says ASICS, and make sure once you type your answer, you do hit submit, and they'll kind of pop up on the screen here. So we'll give a few seconds for some responses to come through. And then we'll jump into a few other questions and then into the true product itself. Ryan Hall, my question is...
That was inevitable.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the real Ryan Hall, but, you know, well, it's probably implied.
Cool. I'd say we're starting out mostly positive here. The next question we're going to jump into is a bit more tactical. Our tech rep team recently coming back into the market, understanding the marketplace has evolved really dynamically and is very different region to region and even location to location for some of you guys that have multiple stores. So really curious how they can be most effective as things currently stand. They've all been working diligently virtually and connecting to stores. Second call out there, while we've got a small kind of nimble team of 9, we do hope as business returns to normalcy to grow that. So any candid feedback here is greatly appreciated. Give just a few more seconds here and then kind of jump in. Good call out for Ari there. That's awesome. And then definitely some call outs for help on the floor, which as a group, they're more than ready and more than willing. That's awesome.
Some good thoughts on here.
Cool. All right, so we're going to jump ahead to just 2 more questions before we dive into the product. So next one, just kind of general thoughts, what you've seen to this point with what's recently launched into the marketplace, and then also a lot of you have seen kind of our early SS21 product line. Want to hear if you guys think it's moving in the right direction. We're certainly encouraged internally, but would love just, every gut check along the way. Great call out on Nova Blast. I think that was a pleasant surprise for us as well. We had high hopes on that foam, but you'll see some more conversation around Nova upcoming here. It's 2 weeks away from Meta Racer too, so we're pumped on that.
Yeah, Chase, I thought you were sending me a pair of Meta Racers. I still haven't seen them show up yet. What's up?
We're working on it. I'm in the office today packing shoes, Hall.
Need to wear them when I get coffee. Cumulus 22, fantastic.
Yeah, we've been saying internally, anytime you see a Cumulus number that's plus 100, plus 120%, that's pretty amazing, especially given kind of the current market conditions. This is great, guys. Thanks for all the positivity.
And Hall's on camera, so it's not just him typing out these things.
I know. Hands free.
Yeah.
All right. So last one here before we hop into product. Curious to hear, just kind of as you're tentatively planning, do you expect ASICS to be a market share grower, growth brand in your stores in 2021? We've seen some market share gains here over the past 3 to 5 months, which are super encouraging, and just want to hear if what you've seen so far that's expected to continue. Awesome, all good news there. All right, so hopping into the true footwear itself. So we'll be looking at basically intros for Q3 and Q4 of 2021. So product that's more than a year away. But kind of where we stand in the process, we've gone through first samples, worked with the global team, worked with some retail partners to review and evolve. Now we sit kind of in the lead in to second sample. So what you'll be seeing is images of second sample where we kind of first time apply color to the shoe, and they're really evolved from a tooling and material standpoint toward where we want to go for final sales samples and then final production ultimately. So our goal here is to gain kind of feedback and color rankings. So as we go into those second samples with global, we know where to ask for widths, we know where we need adjustments in terms of maybe pricing, or there's gaps in the line that we need filled in. Things of that nature. So all the feedback greatly appreciated. And then we'll evolve these samples one more round, and your sales rep or one of us will connect with you guys on a virtual call to actually book product and plan the back half of the year. So quickly, just high level, want to highlight the color threads. Our color team here internally does a ton of research, and they do a great job building out these kind of mood boards and inspiration for the season. So for Q3, the theme across men's and women's is euphoria, this idea of getting outside, experiencing the energy, and bringing that to life via color. Also a great show on HBO if you haven't watched it. Would encourage you guys to check it out. But this comes to life with electric red and these kind of bold reds, and then on the more kind of blue or neutral palette, some Monaco blue, electric blue, still grounded in grays. You'll still see a lot of neutral kind of safe colors, but want to definitely continue, as ASICS has always been known for, to bring energy through color into the line. Jumping onto the women's side, you'll see some of those similar blue tones pull over, but you'll see kind of this combination of blazing coral and pink grapefruit be those energy kind of body colors. One of our Kayanos has a full body in that electric or blazing coral. So focused on just bringing energy through colors seasonally. And then on Q4, we cool it down a little bit, still some outdoor inspiration, maybe even a bit more trail oriented here. Doing some yellow for both him and her, deeper kind of teal tones, and then some of these like muted olives across the men's side. And then pulling that teal over to the women's side, but popping Illuminate Yellow and Pink Rave. So super high level on color, but just kind of want to preface before we dive into the shoes, this is some of what you'll see applied along the way. So from there, we're going to jump into the true models themselves. So quickly, just touching on kind of high level of the line. Most of this you've seen sold in. So we're going to be looking at big updates and a couple legends today and kind